The first big question tonight is 2019 then going to be about a Congress Mukt Bharat, as the BJP calls it, versus a Modi Mukt Bharat, as the opposition is now calling it. Congress Mukt Bharat versus Modi Mukt Bharat. Is the opposition simply too divided for a grand alliance against Mr. Modi? Is there a possibility of a third front emerging? Are opposition parties unwilling to accept Rahul Gandhi as their leader? Just some of the questions that are blowing in the political wind at the moment. Nalin Kohli, spokesperson BJP, Arvind Sawant, Member of Parliament Shiv Sena, Khushbu Sundar, spokesperson Congress, Rahul Srivastava, National Affairs Editor, in the studio here. Nalin Kohli, as you see those images that are playing out today, Raj Thackeray holding that big rally in Mumbai, and you've got the TRS coming together with Mamta Banerjee, Rahul Gandhi launching a blistering attack. Do you see a gang up? Is this a gang up against Mr. Modi, and are you ready to face it?
No, I think we need to understand that a large number of parties in any case are today taking the position to stand against Narendra Modi ji's government. That's one part of it. But the other part of it is political parties are entitled to try and politically work for their own interests, as you may see with different parties. But with regard to a united opposition, that's been a romantic idea for a long time. Let's look at the three formulations that are at the moment being discussed. A Congress-led anti-BJP front, a non-Congress, non-BJP-led front, which is being called a federal front, or maybe a third dispensation of a third type. So this idea for decades has been there. It's more been an idea in conception, just like Mr. Rahul Gandhi as a leader, who is evolution, that we are still waiting for it to happen. The same is with the third front. So when it happens, we'll talk about it. Why do we need to talk about it now? Currently, these are political movements, and in the political space it can happen. There's no harm about that, but it's not taken shape, and certainly one can't have a structured approach towards it till it takes form, which it hasn't so far over the last several decades.
And the question is, who will lead this potential anti-Modi alliance? That question keeps cropping up, Khushbu Sundar. Your party leader yesterday in the Congress plenary spoke strongly about the BJP being a party of Kauravas. He claimed he was a Pandava. But please tell me, who's the Arjun, or dare I say the Krishna, who's going to actually take on Narendra Modi? If Mr. Modi is Duryodhan, as presumably Rahul Gandhi was trying to project him as, who is going to be Arjun? Who is Yudhishthir? And dare I say, who is Krishna, who's actually going to take him on?
Rajdeep, first and foremost, you should have seen very clearly, we have not been talking about Modi Mukt Bharat. We believe in democracy, and we say that we need an opposition. So what the dream of BJP has been for the last 3.5 years to 4 years, talking about Congress Mukt Bharat, from the time Narendra Modi ji has taken over as the Prime Minister, that entire dream stands shattered today, because we did not start this, about the talks of Modi Mukt Bharat. We believe in democracy, and like I said, we say that there has to be an opposition. But today, the complete NDA allies have decided to stand against Modi. And what does this show? It shows clearly that within 4 years, you have failed your allies so miserably that they don't want to stand by you. Now, who's going to be Yudhishthir? Who's going to be Krishna? Who's going to be Arjuna? The time will tell. But we definitely are the Pandavas who are going to fight against the against this brigade of the BJP. And that was made very clear by Mr. Rahul Gandhi yesterday in the plenary session. So now it's up to them to decide the other third front, or the federal front, what we're talking about, as they have to decide who's going to play the different roles in this in this Mahabharata. But we are very clear as to where we stand and what we intend to do.
You know, it's interesting, you say you are very clear where you stand, but you won't tell me who's Yudhishthir, who is Arjun, who's actually going to take this alliance forward, who's the Arjun, who's going to take on Narendra Modi, because that clearly has been left for another day.
Let them come when we have seen in Raj.
It is possible that a Mamta Banerjee ma'am or a KCR will not accept Rahul Gandhi.
And we said that we stand by them.
Maybe many of these leaders will not accept Rahul Gandhi as their leader. They may not accept him.
The time will tell. We are not waiting for them to accept us. No, we are not waiting for them. See, we are very clear. We definitely want to save the country from these clutches of the Kauravas, what we have been talking about. We have seen in the last 4 years where the Modi government, when they came to power, the amount of promises they made and where the country stands today. You can say that everything is in, it's been designed by the Nehru from that time. And I would like to ask the BJP a very simple question, even about economics, when a Nobel Prize winner, Paul Krugman, says about the unemployment in India, is that also designed by the Nehru? So there are answers which they need to answer. We stand clear where we are, and we will let the time decide as to who is going to play the different roles in this Mahabharata.
Okay. Let me for a moment go away from Mahabharata and turn to the Shiv Sena. Arvind Sawant, Member of Parliament from Mumbai. Raj Thackeray last night spoke of a Modi Mukt Bharat. He called for a grand opposition alliance. Now Raj Thackeray has 0 seats, but you have seats, you are an ally. Does the Shiv Sena want also today a Modi Mukt Bharat?
Shiv Sena is an independent party working under the great leadership of Uddhavji Thackeray. And in that case, we do not want to pass any comment on these issues. We are still in NDA, and therefore we will not make any comment on this issue. There are differences which we are exposing. We are voicing it out either in the parliament or outside the parliament. So no question of making any comment on this issue.
But what would you say? You are mentioning there are differences, and you are quite open about those differences in your Shiv Sena mouthpiece in Samna, for example. You are repeatedly attacking the Narendra Modi government. So clearly the Shiv Sena too seems to be for some reason wanting to distance itself from the Modi government.
Rajdeep ji, you are a very senior leader, from the media. And you know it, that it is not that right now we are having a differences. You must understand that during the assembly election in 2014, our alliance broke at that time only. From then onward till date, the differences continued. And differences are what? It is not a political mileage or what, they are in the interest of the nation. You can very well recollect it. What was our stand at the time of the land acquisition bill? What was our stand at the time of the demonetization? What was our stand at the time of the GST? What was our stand when the alliance party, both the BJP and Mukti Mohammed side joined together and formed the government? What is our stand about Jammu Kashmir and other issues? So therefore, we always work in the interest of nation. And as far as these things are concerned, we feel when you talk about Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, then if we are the party, we are the partners of the NDA, then in that case, you should have taken us into confidence. They only think of a NDA when the elections are there. May it be the president election, may it be the vice president. They realize that there is an NDA, and then they talk to us, and that is what is actually happening.
So am I to understand from what you are saying that you will contest the 2019 elections with the BJP, or will the Shiv Sena, as you all have announced in the past, go it alone? I want to understand, are you going to go it alone? Are you so angry that you will go alone? You will fight the next elections on your own?
I think Rajdeep ji, if you again I will recollect, 2014 assembly election, Shiv Sena contested alone. In 26 January 2016, Uddhavji Thackeray announced it that henceforth we will contest every election alone. Since then till date, whichever elections have taken place in Maharashtra, whether it is a municipal corporation, whether it is Jilla Parishad, every election Shiv Sena has contested alone. Okay, what else you want? I mean, we are so clean about it and clear about it.
You will contest the elections on your own. Naren Kohli, you are listening to the Shiv Sena. The Shiv Sena now is saying very clearly once again, they will contest the next general elections on their own. Now, given the fact that the BJP Shiv Sena alliance in Maharashtra had done remarkably well in the Lok Sabha elections, this is another blow. The Shiv Sena is once again reiterating on this program, they will contest the 2019 elections on their own. One by one, allies are distancing themselves from you. Ram Vilas Paswan is calling for course correction. TDP has left you. Akalis are also calling for course correction. Shiv Sena says we will contest on your own. Should there be any introspection or not?
But I think, no, it's not about as if we are getting it wrong. I think we need to bear in mind every political party is entitled to and will always work for its own expansion and growth. But when the situations come across, political parties also find mechanisms to work together. Even as Mr. Sawant, who is a senior leader, is pointing out about the Shiv Sena's point of view, at the same time he has also said we are part of NDA. So I think we need to recognize that within a framework of working together there can be differences, there's space for it. What will happen in the future, it's too early to predict. The second part is to what Khushbu ji was saying, and I want to really draw a little bit on this analogy of the Mahabharata. This is a strange set of Pandavas who don't know who Arjun, Yudhishthir, Nakul, Sahadev or Bhim in their team is. And certainly they don't know about Krishna. Probably they won't want to speak about that too. So I mean, if this is the analogy, that it only confirms that a leadership that wants to manufacture a mandate is just trying to put together pieces, pick up one analogy here, one analogy there, put it together as an alternative form of governance. That's not how it is. That also probably would be answered with the fact that Mamata Banerjee and KCR today have met separately without wanting to be seen walking along with, say, Mr. Rahul Gandhi's leadership of the Congress party. Now this is all in the open space. And the final comment about the tweet of Mr. Rahul Gandhi, if I may also remind Khushbu ji, Smita Prakash of ANI retweeted to correct the spelling of Nobel in that tweet. That was also incorrect.
You know, let's not go down to correcting spellings in the tweet. You see, that's where the conversation, unfortunately, the public conversation gets Twitterized.
But Rahul, I'm just only telling you, it's the same model. No, it's the same model. Yes, it will be bitter.
Okay.
It will be bitter because it is. Okay. I don't think, it doesn't mean it's personal, but it's certainly not a cordial thing. Look at the way Mr. Rahul Gandhi runs down a whole community on the name Modi. So everyone who has the surname Modi is condemned? Would he do the same thing with people, say, from, say, Bihar or UP or a Muslim who is involved in terrorism and say this name is the name of all terrorists? I don't think that is the correct approach. And I have a viewpoint and I'm going to put it across.
Very quickly, Khushbu Sundar, before I come to Rahul Srivastav, is it very clear that Rahul Gandhi yesterday has somewhere decided now that offense is the best part of defense? That I am going to target the Prime Minister personally, I am going to target Amit Shah personally and make every effort to discredit them. Is that a high-risk strategy? Because by doing that, you are effectively making the battle Modi versus Rahul. Is that something that you are ready for? Or do you want it to be alliance politics versus Mr. Modi?
Not at all. First, to answer your question, Rajdeep, please understand it has always been the BJP who say that Rahul Gandhi does not matter, but they're the one who always, every minister from the BJP have been sitting and speaking and discussing only Rahul Gandhi. They talk about Rahul Gandhi. The name Rahul Gandhi is said after every sentence, after every word by the BJPs. We do not do that. Secondly, coming to Mr. Nalin Kohli's allegations about the Mahabharata, let me tell him that we still believe in holding our horses back rather than trampling the democracy and taking over the state in a very indifferent manner. We have seen it what happened in very recently conducted polls in Meghalaya, prior to that in Uttarakhand and Manipur and Goa and other places. We try to go slow because we believe in democracy, and I actually stress on the point democracy, because that is something India has always been proud about, and that one word does not exist in the book, in the dictionary of the BJP. So I would like to remind him that we definitely understand Mahabharata, but we hold our horses back. We are not in a hurry to push you and say that it is the end of the BJP. We respect the opposition, and we would like to maintain it that way, and this is the Nehru and Gandhi teachings, what we take it forward, right from Ambedkar to all the other people who have laid down their lives for this country.
You know, she didn't answer my question, and your name is Rahul. So, you know, you can tell me about Rahul Gandhi. Has he decided to make this campaign personal? And therefore, increasingly, it will become about Narendra Modi, the individual, and Mr. Modi will then convert that into a presidential battle. Amit Shah has already said, I am very happy to make the 2019 elections Modi versus the rest. Is that going to be playing into the BJP's hands at the moment?
Rajdeep, I think Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been trying to make it a Rahul versus him battle for some time, and I think it suits him. It suits him because he knows that right now the political picture of the country is such that the opposition needs to come together. We are talking about a Modi Mukh Bharat, a grand Mahagadbandhan of some 50 odd groups, all of them coming together. But in that, if there is a summit battle between Prime Minister Modi and Rahul Gandhi, it becomes a problem because Congress cannot be the shepherd now anymore. It is not the party which can lead everybody and say fall in line.
You're saying the
it's 44.
Pawars, the Mamtas, the KCRs will not accept Rahul Gandhi.
It's not a matter of accepting, Rajdeep. The Congress will have to cede space. In Bengal, let Mamata Banerjee do it. In UP, let Akhilesh and Mayawati do it. Then they can defeat Modi as a grand alliance. But if the Congress wants Rahul Gandhi to win maximum number of seats, become Prime Minister, and everybody else to fall along,
that's not going to happen anymore.
Not going to happen. That's where Prime Minister Modi will prefer it to be a battle, create a crisis or ambition for the Congress party and aspiration. Want Rahul Gandhi to become Prime Minister, or you want to remove Modi? I think that's where the battle will lie.
That's a very interesting way to put it. Let me again turn to the Shiv Sena, because we've got a no confidence motion which is not being allowed at the moment by the Speaker because of the din that you have in Parliament. I want to ask you, Mr. Arvind Sawant, very clearly, will the Shiv Sena abstain in the no confidence motion? You've already made it clear, reiterated, you will not contest the next election with the BJP. But will the Shiv Sena abstain if there is a no confidence motion in Parliament tomorrow?
Yes, we will abstain. We will abstain. We will abstain. Yes, we will abstain.
You will abstain by calling.
We will abstain.
So you're
because we want to convey the resentment to government also.
Okay, so you are saying you will abstain from Parliament. Okay, that's abstain from any vote in Parliament. I think that's an important point that is being made. The Shiv Sena is saying they will abstain, Rahul, from any vote in Parliament.
Rajiv, I'm surprised at what is happening to politics, because I'll tell you, by actually abstaining, they're helping Narendra Modi. 540 is the strength of the House. Shiv Sena abstains. The strength of the House goes down by 18. Narendra Modi has 274 votes. If Shiv Sena abstains, Narendra Modi needs 261. He's through. Second, I'm amazed that Shiv Sena wants to abstain from a no confidence motion which is against a council of ministers in which a Shiv Sena member is a minister. They are abstaining against their own member of parliament and a minister in the government. I think Shiv Sena really needs to think what exactly it's going to do.
That is exactly the kind of hypocrisy that you will often see in our politics at the moment. As I said, Mr. Sawant, you are in the Maharashtra government. In the Maharashtra government, you are attacking Narendra Modi at the center, but are happily enjoying the fruits of power to some extent at the center, but definitely in the Maharashtra government. So you too, Mr. Arvind Sawant, will be accused of double standards. These are the double standards of your politics.
Therefore, again, I am recalling you. It is the media who said it. Even print media said it. It is just because of the pressure of Shiv Sena. Farmers' loan, decision to waive off the loan of the farmers has been taken by the government. Now, by remaining in the government, what we are doing? We are giving justice to the common man, justice to the farmers, and that is we will continue to do that. And on independent party, my party chief will take a decision as and when he feels correct.
We'll leave it there. These are the twists and turns of Indian politics in an election year. You abstain from a no confidence motion in which you are part of the government but continue to enjoy the fruits of power. Thank you all very much to my guests for joining me. My Take